Bryan Kohberger, who was accused of murdering 4 college students in Idaho, has entered a plea deal to avoid the death penalty. This has been a long and drawn-out case, but ultimately, the defense attorneys and the prosecution here entered into a plea agreement where the prosecution doesn't have to take this case to trial, and Bryan Kohberger spends the rest of his life in prison and doesn't have to face, potentially, the death penalty. So why would somebody enter into this type of agreement? Well, from the prosecution side, there's always a risk going to trial. Trials are lengthy, and they cost a ton of money to the state. Plus, you have to bring in witnesses, the families have to come in. Some of the family members may not want to have to relive this case again here in court. So from the prosecution's perspective, this could be a good option because they don't have any risk, they don't have to spend the money, and they don't have to put the witnesses through the trauma of reliving this case. Obviously, on Bryan Kohberger's side, he avoids the death penalty. He knows he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison, and most likely he knows that the evidence against him was overwhelming. So here, it's a good deal for him, potentially, and it's a good deal for the prosecution. I understand that some of the families here are upset, but when you're dealing with multiple families, multiple victims, ultimately I think the prosecution tried to make a decision that was in the best interest of all the victims here and of all their families, as well as reduce the risk and avoid the expense of the trial. What do you think? Was this a fair plea deal? Let me know what you think in the comments below.